All right, guys. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this is my coaching jacket. I have a coaching company. I'm coaching after this. And God bless each and every single one of you. This code is going to be about Germany and in particular the death of Andreas Brehme, who just died at age 63. Now, who knows what this represents, but the numbers are quite incredible. I'll show you how his death connects to Euro 2024, to Franz Beckenbauer, to Adolf Hitler, to Donald Trump. It's just all connected every single day. So this will be a short stream because I've got a lot to do. So yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good. Played football yesterday. I got a goal and an assist. Put me left midfield and then they put me in the centre. So I enjoyed it. It was a good workout. And I'm not aching, which I'm shocked with because I didn't stop running. I thought I'd be aching today. Somebody's cleat or stud. Somebody studied my hand. And I think they did it deliberately. So I dribbled round them. And then I was on the floor and they ran past me and stood on my hand. I was like, oh, I'm going to absolutely rip you next time I get the ball. And I did. So anyways, let me break this down for you. Tell you who he was and what I believe his death represents. God bless you, Jude. God bless you. Cheers, Cal. It's my coaching jacket. It's my coaching jacket. I've got a company, English Football Academy, so I wear it most times when I coach. Hey, Jake. Much love, mate. All right, let's do this. Andreas Andi Brehme dies age 63. So remember, Bayern legend and Germany legend. Franz Beckenbauer died recently. You'll have to go watch that video because it was off the charts. And now Andreas Andi Brehme has just died at age 63. Now, 63 is interesting in regards to Trump because Trump became, he got voted in to become the 45th US president in 2016, which was the 63rd triangular number. And the upcoming Euros begin on Donald Trump's 78th birthday. And Germany won the World Cup in 1990 on 7-8, 1-0 against Argentina. And the winning goal was scored by the guy I'm talking about here, Brehme. It's quite remarkable, really, to be honest with you. And the coach at the time, when Germany won that World Cup in 1990, which was when George Bush Sr. gave his 9/11 speech, and Franz Beckenbauer was born on 9/11, and we have Brehme, who was born on 11/9. Franz Beckenbauer was the coach for Germany the year that Brehme won the World Cup and got the winning goal in the final, which was with a penalty. And Franz Beckenbauer died this year at age 78. And he guided Germany to that World Cup final on 7-8, where Brehme got the winning goal. And then Brehme dies shortly after. It's honestly remarkable. Like, to think that I went so long in my life without knowing any of this. For me, back in the day, if this guy died, I just wouldn't have thought anything of it. I would say 63 is still young. I don't think that's an age you would expect to die. You want to live a bit longer than that. So it's not like, okay, he's died at 90. But I wouldn't have thought anything of it. But now it's just, I know everything is so deeply coded that I have to look into it. So the fact that Franz Beckenbauer coached Germany to win that World Cup final against Maradona's Argentina. You know, Maradona recently died. His death connected to Franz Beckenbauer's death. And all these 9/11 connections. Did you see in NASCAR yesterday that the winner won it a span of 9 months and 11 days before his birthday? My throat. What is going on? So NASCAR was a 9/11 riddle. Number 24 won it. It was all about the X eclipse, which is going to be on 4/8. That's why number 48 finished second. And X is the 24th letter of the alphabet. All these 24s we're seeing. My word, guys, what is going on with my throat? Illusion Sheringham. A few people have called me in the past Teddy Sheringham. One of them called me Eddie Sheringham. I think his name's actually Edward Sheringham. And I'm pretty sure that Sheringham was born 4/2/66 and England won the World Cup final 4-2 in 66. Let me confirm that with Teddy Sheringham. Teddy Sheringham was born 4/2/1966 and England won the World Cup final 4-2 in 1966. Can I get a woo, guys? Can you ping that like button? Adam is supporting England in the Euros, baby. I won't be watching one game, brother. I know you're having banter. I didn't watch any games of the World Cup. I watched one game of Euro 2020, which I didn't want to. It was just on. I told you the story. Portugal, Belgium. I was out having dinner and there were screens all around me. And thankfully, I coded Belgium to win that game. I remember it finished 1-0. I think Hazard's brother scored. Of course, the brothers playing together for the Red Devils, just like the Lukaku brothers. Absolutely comical when you actually sit down and think about it. The chances of that happening. So let me tell you who he was. Sorry about my throat. Andreas Andi Brehme was a German professional football player and coach. At international level, he's best known for scoring the winning goal for Germany in the 1990 FIFA World Cup final against Argentina from an 85th minute penalty kick. Now, I will say this. I will not be shocked if this Euro 2024 final goes to the death. All right? I don't see it being won in 90 minutes. And a shootout makes the most sense if it's all about war. Euro 2020 was a shootout, the final. The World Cup final was a shootout. Are we going to get the third shootout in a row? Probably, to indicate World War III. We'll see. So Beckenbauer, who's arguably Germany's greatest ever player, he was born on 9/11. And Andi Brehme, who died today, was born on 11/9. We know 9 times 11 is 99. 11 times 9 is 99. The eclipse is on the 99th day of the year. Brady made his NFL debut in 2001, the year of 9/11, with 99 days left in the year. Prince Philip died at age 99 on the 99th day of the year. And he was there with Elizabeth when they handed number 6, Bobby Moore, the World Cup trophy in 66. 6-6-6. In a game that had 6 goals, finished 4-2. The Beast reigns for 42 months. And for whatever reason, England were wearing red. And that's one thing I said with that Chiefs 49ers. I said it's so connected to that World Cup final with England. But when England won it, they were wearing red. And the Chiefs were wearing red in that Super Bowl. There's just so many things to factor in. Still think Arizona will win March Madness. All I've said with Arizona is they have all the Kobe Bryant numbers. They came in 8th seed, didn't they? And I coded them to beat Utah in the opening game. And I said Kobe's last ever game was against Utah. So I haven't gone deep enough to say I'm confident or have conviction. I haven't even looked at other teams. I was just showing you that Arizona connect to Kobe Bryant, and so much of 2024 has been about Kobe Bryant. Man City could win 4 trophies. We'll see. Obviously, there's amazing riddles for other teams. Man City have a game today against Brentford. That is a must win. They have to win that. You could keep an eye on Haaland, £51 million signing. It's the 51st day of the year. But again, he's struggled recently as Haaland. when that demon's not activated, is just a big lump. Can somebody give me a woo? When that big demon is not activated in Haaland, is just a big lump. If you actually watch him, he does next to nothing in a game, but genuinely he scores. But if you watch him, he's not bringing much to the team. He's just in the right place at the right time, more often than not. I don't rate him. Obviously, he's an incredible goal scorer, but I know what I'm saying here from what I've seen of him. Brehme born 10 days after Maradona, and he won the World Cup with Germany against Argentina 1-0. Now, that's amazing. There's Chuck, guys. Unbelievable coder. Amazing coder. And Chuck, in that 1990 World Cup final, the two captains wore number 10. It was number 10, Diego Maradona, and number 10, Lothar Matthäus. And number 10, Lionel Messi, just overtook Lothar Matthäus in World Cup appearances by winning the World Cup final. That was Messi's 26th World Cup appearance. Matthäus had the record going into that with 25. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to type that up. How crazy is this, guys? Well, number 10, Lothar Matthäus, and number 10, Diego Maradona. So, again, it's up for debate. Is this going to be the last ever Euros? I think so. I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if there's a Euros in 2028. So who's going to win the final one? Like, again, I'm past trying to tell you who's going to win everything all the time and being perfect. Like, when you do this code and you're at a high level, you know that it's so hard to call futures. That's why I love to go day by day, game by game. I've called a crazy amount of futures, but they're tough. Now, these deaths with Germany, are Germany going to win it? The host nation. The host makes me think about viruses. I like Germany. Massive deaths right before it. The Euros begin on Trump's birthday, whose father is German. Okay? It's deep. The war, all the war codes that are hitting. If you ask anybody, what nation do you think of with war? They always go to Germany. They always go to Germany. Yeah, brother, I've got that 1171 weeks. I'll break it down. Trump arrested in New York on 4/4. Don't have that, but I had the other one on the website. Let me add the 4/4 with Trump. We know that Trump also replaced the 44th president, Obama. Trump replaced the 44th US president, Barack Obama. It's funny how often Trump gets arrested and never gets sentenced because he's the man of lawlessness, which I've written about in my Trump book. It's crazy. Chuck, again, anything can happen. You just don't know. So Donald Trump right now is plus 120 to become the next president. He was this when I looked into him. So he's the favorite now. But again, let's see what happens. The fact you can bet on who's going to become the president just shows you this world that we live in. The Teflon Don, John Gotti. Wow, oh my word. All right. So Beckenbauer was born on 9/11. Andy Brehme, who died today, was born on 11/9. And exactly 29 years later, the 10th prime, the Berlin Wall came down. Came down on 11/9. And Kai Havertz, who plays in England, wears number 29 for Arsenal. Arsenal connect to war. That's why they have that great riddle to win the league if they do win it. It's war. The Gunners, the Cannonball, Arsenal. All war connections, why they signed a German, why they signed the Ukrainian, Zinchenko, why they're sponsored by an airline. When you think about war, you think about planes. It's all crazy. Thank you, John. Guys, if you haven't hit the like already, can you do so? My hand's starting to sting now. Let's go. Daytona 66 race. Yes, it was the 66 edition of the Daytona 500. There was a major crash on the 192nd lap, and that occurred on the 19th of February. I shared that for you all. So this is going on in Daytona 500. I don't believe for a second that man rehearsed the crash on lap 192. My mate Lockwood on the website, he said 8 is everywhere, and it is. And obviously the crash occurred with 8 laps left, and the winner was number 24. 2 times 4 is 8. Yeah, President's Day equals 192. John, that might be you who told me that on the website or Twitter. So a lot right now, obviously, is going to connect to the upcoming presidential election. That's just the reality. It makes sense. It only happens once every 4 years, just like the Euros. In 2016, who won the Euros? It was Cristiano Ronaldo with Portugal. So again, there's that riddle for them. Did they win it 8 years later? And Trump becomes the president, and his first day in office would be exactly 8 years after his first day in office. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gone deep enough into Portugal. I'll be shocked if they let Ronaldo win it again. But I think Portugal, didn't they have a perfect qualifying campaign? I think they won 10 out of 10 from what I remember. So I was coding all the games and they just won. I'm pretty sure they won all of them. If you can back me up, somebody in the chat. Hey, God bless you, Yorek Hunt. Wow. If you say that name quickly, it sounds like I'm not going to say it. Yorek Hunt. Is that what the game is there? Have you just played me a little bit? I think so, but I did catch it. If that's what it is. If that's your actual name, apologies. Hey, Colleging, God bless you, from New York as well. Is this 2 separate people? Or is it the same people with different accounts? I don't know. Either way, much love. So Brehme played for Bayern Munich and Germany, just like Beckenbauer. And he's just died on the 51st day of 2024. The Illuminati were founded in 1776 in Bavaria, Germany on 5/1, May the 1st. If you remember, Brady won Super Bowl 51. And he won it on 2-5, coming back from 25 points down. The Beast of Revelation has permission to take out 25% of the earth. England, I've done a video about this as well. They beat Germany 5-1, like 51, in Bavaria in Bayern Munich Stadium, 10 days before 9/11, when number 10, Michael Owen, scored a hat-trick. All the players who scored for England in that game played for Liverpool. And Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool's head coach, he retired as a player the year of 9/11 in 2001. And England's Euro campaign begins on Jurgen Klopp's birthday versus Serbia. And it was Serbian Gavrilo Principo that shot dead Franz Ferdinand, which triggered World War I. And England's Euro campaign begins exactly 18 years after Lionel Messi's first ever World Cup goal, which was in Germany against Serbia. Which I find quite remarkable. Whatever happens and whoever wins it, the fact that England's Euro campaign begins on Jurgen Klopp's birthday against Serbia exactly 18 years after Messi scored his first ever World Cup goal, which was in the World Cup in Germany against Serbia. Guys, that's worthy of a few likes, what I've just given you there. That's quite breathtaking. Bryant died 8 months and 20 days before his upcoming birthday, and 9/11 began at 8:20 a.m. I think this is a divine code. I don't believe they're getting ritually sacrificed by the devil or by man or by the secret societies. I just believe it's the code that we live and experience, and 99% of the world's oblivious to the code. Now imagine they taught this stuff at school. Never going to happen, is it? It's too sacred. It's too divine. They don't want us knowing this stuff. It's why I get demonetized and shadow banned, because this is divine. This is a divine code. Euros start a span of 66 weeks and 6 days after Trump arrested in New York. Oh. And remember, the upcoming World Cup final was scheduled to be played in New York. And they keep changing it, which didn't happen before. They keep changing it. Like, okay, we're going to do it in New York. We're going to do it in Texas. We're going to do it in New Jersey. They keep changing the location of it, which is just very rare. There is a possibility that Satan's infiltrating the code, but I do believe Satan works for God. Bryant died exactly 1,171 weeks after 9/11. 1,171 is the 193rd prime number. The Georgia Guidestones were 19 feet and 3 inches. They came down on George Bush Jr.'s birthday, who was the president during 9/11. They came down on 7/6 on George Bush Jr.'s 76th birthday. Just surreal, guys. Brehme died 44 days after Beckenbauer died. The Euro 2024 final is a span of exactly 44 weeks after Beckenbauer's birthday, which is 9/11. Euro 2024 will be played in Germany. 20 plus 24 equals 44. Germany have won the World Cup 4 times, and they can win their 4th Euros. That's a big 44. There's a lot of 44s with Argentina winning the World Cup. A lot. It could do with the 4 horsemen. Andreas Brehme equals 44. Chuck just told us Trump was arrested in New York on 4/4. Last year, Manchester City won the treble on Prince Philip's birthday, and they won their 44th game of the season. Martin Luther King was assassinated on 4/4. And we're going to get the return of the King Jesus Christ, guys. Trump replaced the 44th US President, Barack Obama. What else have we got? Bryant died 6 weeks and 2 days after Beckenbauer died. And England beat Iran, which connects to war and Israel, 6-2 in their opening game of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Who scored their opening goal? Jude Bellingham, number 22. The book of Jude is the second to last book in the Bible before Revelation. Jude played in Germany for Dortmund. What else have I got before I go? So the Bryant died 6 weeks and 2 days after Beckenbauer died. England beat Iran 6-2, first game of the World Cup for England. Germany and England's home jerseys are white. Revelation 6:2. And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So there's a great chance that the team that wins the Euros is wearing a white jersey. All right. Could be Germany, could be England. There's a few other nations that wear white jerseys, either their home or away kits. Queen equals 62. She was coronated in 1953 on 6-2. 1,953 is the 60-second triangular number. What else? England beat Germany in the 66 World Cup final, and Brehme died on 66 dating in MotoGP. The Euros begin on Donald Trump's 78th birthday on 14/6, and the final is on 14/7. And Brehme died a span of 146 days before the final. So that's a good sign Germany could get there. Even though Germany have really struggled over the last few years, just come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter. Thank you so much, Durrell, brother. I really appreciate you. I think Man City beat Brentford from what I saw. Thank you, brother Durrell. Thanks for your support all the time. So, yeah, people are saying there's no chance Germany are going to get there. They're struggling. They're not the team they used to be. Guys, it doesn't matter. It's the code. If it was about talent, Greece wouldn't win the Euros when they did. Leicester wouldn't have won the Premier League when they did. Denmark wouldn't have won the Euros in 1990 when they did. If it was all purely about talent. Bradford City wouldn't have got to the League Cup final in 2013. A League Two team beating Arsenal, Villa. All right, it's just not possible if it wasn't anything to do with a code. I always get adverts in the live streams. NC, it's because I get played by YouTube. I don't know how many times I have to tell people this. They don't pay me barely anything. They interrupt my live streams with commercials to frustrate you so you don't keep watching. And I'm sure many people have been watching it, enjoying it. They get commercials, they go, I'm done with this. Then you don't get the information. So YouTube know what they're doing. I believe the algorithm are demons. But ultimately, I have a platform to speak my mind. I can't do much about the commercials. It's frustrating, for sure. I've watched many YouTube videos and I experienced the same things. Do you have Cody Rhodes defeating Roman Reigns? I'll have to look into it. All I know is Cody Rhodes went back-to-back in Royal Rumbles. It was the 15th entrant. Number 15, Mahomes, just went back-to-back in Super Bowls. And the Super Bowl, he got his 15th win of the season. So I can tell you all of that. Does Cody end his story? I don't know. I just know that his nickname's the American Nightmare. And at any point, the US is going to get obliterated. At any point. All right? And I think that's what this whole thing is. Because for me, Cody, guys, I loved wrestling. Cody was always a mid-carder. All right? But now he has this gimmick as the American Nightmare. He's arguably the most over, a wrestling term, wrestler there is. And the other day, I actually watched some highlights because The Rock returned. I saw them all doing that. But let me hear what he's got to say. And he's just doing his old gimmick of Hollywood Rock, just making fun out of people. He was involved with NASCAR as well, The Rock. He's everywhere. That guy is a high-ranking demon, guys. He really is. And I was looking at the fans, and I was one of them. And the majority of the fans, it's not kids. People go, it's all kids. It's not. I would say the average wrestling fan in this stadium is probably in their mid-20s, early 30s. All right? And just watching how they react when a certain wrestler's music hits, it hurt my soul. So I had to stop watching. And I was like, oh my word. What are you doing? You're a grown man. And again, I was that person. Guys, I went to wrestling in the Staples Center in my 30s. John Cena would come down. I'd go up. I'd do that. And I'd like give a high five to my friend. Looking back, oh my word. Thank you, God, for getting me out of that complete illusion. Worshipping these wrestlers in a predetermined sports entertainment industry. Yeah. So do I think Cody's going to beat Roman? I don't know. There's so much changes in wrestling from day to day. So much changes. So yeah, Roman Reigns, he's been dominating ever since he recovered from leukemia. It's like Sebastian Haller. He gets testicular cancer and then he dominates in the African Cup of Nations and Ivory Coast win, and he gets the winning goal. I coded them to win that. I saw what they had with Yaya Toure really early in the tournament. And then late, I started posting it on. They did. They came back. They beat Nigeria. I can't remember who else they beat on the way. But yeah, there's a lot of these people, they suffer from serious illness and they're coming back. It's almost like these counterfeit miracles from Satan. But again, did they really have what they say they had? We'll never know. What else was I going to say? Brehme scored the winning goal in Germany's 1990 World Cup final win versus Maradona's Argentina, and he did that on 7-8, and Euro 2024 will take place in Germany and begin on Donald Trump's 78th birthday, and Beckenbauer died at age 78 on 1/7, and Euro 2024 is the 17th edition of the Euros. Brehme's upcoming birthday would have been a span of exactly 17 weeks after the Euro 2024 final, and 17 weeks is 119 days, and he was born on 11/9. So whoever's behind this code, there's no denying the code, the way I present it. Revelation 17, guys, it reveals the destruction of the enemy is imminent. You want to read that? Because the enemy ultimately loses. The Euro 2024 final will take place on 14/7. Adolf Hitler was the Chancellor of Germany for a span of exactly 147 months. Chuck told me that. I don't know if he's still watching. That's quite remarkable, guys. Let me say that one more time. The Euro 2020 final in Germany will take place on 14/7. And Adolf Hitler was the Chancellor of Germany for a span of exactly 147 months. Now, to add to that, the White House has 147 windows. And the Euros begin on Trump's birthday. And let me just read out Think Ahead 201. I joined late, but did you have that Brehme died a span of 3,303 weeks and 3 days after Maradona's birthday? No, not at all. What I should do right now is check the span between Maradona's death. Remember, Maradona dies, and then Messi wins the Copa America and the World Cup. He never won anything before that, but Maradona dies in 2020, the year that Kobe died. And then after that, Messi starts winning everything with Argentina. Makes you think, eh? Coincidence? No. Okay. Brehme died a span of exactly 169 weeks after Maradona, which is 13 times 13. And Messi won the World Cup with 13 days left in the year. And he scored 13 goals at the World Cup. Oh, my word. Notice it's WrestleMania 40, Sam Reader, and the 40 connects to Jesus, who was tempted by the devil for 40 days and 40 nights. The Israelites, 40 years in the wilderness. So WrestleMania 40, I keep talking about that 40 with Jesus. And 40 in the Bible connects to basically overcoming tribulation in your life, overcoming adversity. That's what the 40 represents in the Bible. Will it be the final WrestleMania? Probably goes to WrestleMania 42. The beast reigns for 42 months. So again, it all depends. Like, Here's what it comes down to, guys. With all these lasts, which is very possible. Is there going to be World War III? If there's World War III, everything shuts down, okay? If there is a World War III involving pretty much every nation, everything as you know it's going to shut down. If it's not World War III, we highly likely have another pandemic, which has been foreshadowed for 2025. If that happens, which they're saying will be deadlier than coronavirus, there'll be another lockdown. Everything will shut down. But do you know what was interesting with wrestling? All right, we all can't go to work. We're all having lockdowns, and WWE was classed as essential work. Wrestling, all right, touching each other, pinning each other, all right, that was classed as essential by the government. So they were going to work as long as they got tested. Can you believe how Satan works? He just flips the rules. So again, if there's a war, if there's a pandemic, like a really deadly pandemic, if Jesus returns, then yeah, could it be the last WrestleMania? Absolutely, it could be. And look how wrestling's collapsing. Although it's on the up, they say financially. Look what's happening with the McMahon family. Look what's happening with Vince and how he's being exposed. About time. Okay? It's all coming out now. WWE is affiliated with UFC, showing you that UFC is probably no different than the WWE. Yes, it's more gruesome, but it's all predetermined. I'm not saying it's by man, but who wins those fights is already determined. And there might be certain people in this world that know that. Meadowlands site of 2026 World Cup. Beckenbauer, Pele, Giorgio Canella played together with Cosmos in the late 70s at the Meadowlands. I saw them play even though it was the end of their careers. That's incredible. Remember, Pele died in 2022 on 12/29 on Albert Pike's birthday, who predicted 3 world wars. And Pele is the only player in history to win 3 World Cups. And 12/29 is the 201st prime. And the World Trade Center went from 2 buildings to 0 to 1. First day in office for the 47th US president is 21. Event 201 foreshadowed coronavirus. Pope Francis resided in Suite 201 in the Vatican. Messi was in room 201 when he was in Qatar. Tom Brady threw 201 yards in his last ever Super Bowl. Guys, it's all completely coded. Revelation 21 is a verse that everybody should be aware of, but the problem is most people are not aware of any verses because they don't read the Bible. But Revelation 21, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. It's just crazy. It's crazy. That code that I've just given you is crazy. This world that we're living in right now is crazy. Let's go, Adam. God bless you. So yeah, I've got to go in about 5 minutes. I've got all sorts going on. If you're on my website, thank you so much for your support. If you're not, you might want to check it out. Honestly, it's great. Thank you to all of you. Let's share your codes and your insights and positivity, your wisdom. I am very grateful for sure. Germany have a great riddle, the Dutch exposer. I'm not going to sit here saying this team wins. Germany have a great riddle. England have a great riddle. France have a great riddle. It's just, you've got to accept that sometimes. When people go, well, tell me who's got the best riddle then. It's like, well, here's what I have. Now, what do you think? What do you think? Like, the codes I gave for the Chiefs, 49ers, and Eagles were out of this world. What do you think? Some of them took Chiefs, some took the 49ers, some took the Eagles. You've got to take a bit of responsibility. The France code is outrageous, guys. If you go on my website, read what I found for France. The England stuff is off the charts. All right? And now this with Germany. Let me see how many host nations have won the Euros. How many host nations have won the Euros? 3. So Germany can be the 4th. Spain did it in 1964, Italy in 1968, 4 years later, and France did it in 1984. Orwell's book. They hosted it and they won it with Platini. I looked into that. So again, 3 nations have hosted the Euros and won it. We've got all the 3s with what happened with Super Bowl 58. Mahomes, 3rd Super Bowl win, 3rd MVP, won it with 3 seconds left by 3 points. They could probably three-peat. Oh, we got all these 4s. Super Bowl 58 was a repeat of Super Bowl 54 4 years later. 4 horsemen. Presidential term is 4 years. Starts on Trump's birthday. See how tough it is? 3's massive, as is 4 right now. It's like, oh my word, he's just covering himself. I ain't covering anything. I'm telling you as it is. All right? I just tell you what I see. Give me a woo if you can comprehend that. I just tell you what I see. I can't tell you and look you in the eye and say things like Germany will win. I don't know. I can just put out mind-blowing codes. And that's why I like I keep telling you, with the Euros World Cup, when it comes to the daily games, I absolutely destroy it. Calling the winner, you're going to have at least 5 teams with exceptional riddles to win it. Exceptional. And I wish it was just a case of this one team that always have an unbelievable riddle and they win it, but that's not the way it is with the futures. If you bet on the Daytona 500, which I would never, ever recommend to anybody, I am almost certain for every single driver, you would have found an unbelievable riddle. And now this doesn't go against the gift of the code and what it represents. You just got to know that with futures, man, there's just so much to look at. The guy who won the NASCAR, would you have connected? It was all connected to the eclipse before it happened. And would you have saw his 9/11? You would have had to have looked into every single driver to know their birthday spans. And who has time for that, eh? 40 years ago, since the last time a host won. Now that's big. We were just talking about WrestleMania 40. It's going to be this year. And now you're saying the last time a host nation. Yeah, it was 1984, wasn't it? Oh, hold on. So remember I said I coded Ivory Coast to win the Euros. Not the Euros, the AFCON. Wait, let me type this. Ivory Coast won the AFCON and they hosted the AFCON in 1984. And they hosted this. Ivory Coast hosted and won the 2024 AFCON, and they hosted the AFCON in 1984. So, oh my word, Sebastian Haller plays in Germany. Oh, it's okay. Wait, let me type that. Seb. It could be Germany, England, guys. That'd be Seb Haller scored the winning goal for Ivory Coast in the AFCON final. And he plays in Germany for Borussia Dortmund. And remember, and he played for West Ham in England, and England's captain during the 1966 World Cup was West Ham captain Bobby Moore. Guys, is this going to be Germany, England, or is this too obvious with all the war? That's crazy what I've just put together there. He plays for Dortmund in Germany. He played for West Ham. in England. When England won the World Cup final against Germany, the captain was Bobby Moore, who was West Ham's captain. And that Seb Haller got testicular cancer. And recently we just had King Charles have cancer. The eldest son of Elizabeth and Philip, who had 4 children. Oh, I've got to mark that down. Queen had 4 children. Queen had 4 children. Germany can win their 4th Euros. They have won 4 World Cups. The Queen's Platinum Jubilee lasted 4 days. The Euros are every 4 years. A presidential term is every 4 years. Germany can become the 4th host nation to win the Euros. Oh, there's a lot of 4s heating up here for Germany. Wait, something's just come to my mind. Guys, I'm getting hot. Guys, ping that like button. Much love, Dimez. God bless you. City could win 4 trophies, but that's just asking so much after they've just won. Did they win 5 trophies? 3 major ones. They won the league. They won the FA Cup. They won the Champions League. Then they've won those Super Cups and World Club Championships. So I think they won 5. But yeah. Then winning it all. Wait, this has just hit me. Yeah, guys, I'm not saying City are winning 4 trophies. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying somebody said it. They could. This is the thing. Whatever you're all saying in the chat now, and it's highly unlikely, if City won 4 trophies, there's not one football fan that will be shocked. Can somebody give me a woo? You might say it now. If at the end of the season, Man City win 4 trophies, there's not one football fan that'll go, oh my word, how? Not one. They'll go, yeah, it's City. They've got all the money. They've got Pep. They've got Haaland. That's all they'll say. KDB came back. They'll justify it. So you can sit there now saying, no way. There is a chance that they could. It's unlikely, but they could. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not going to be like, what? How? Not at all. Who will be in the NBA Finals? I don't know because I'm not Mystic. There's so many back-to-back riddles, which is great for Denver Nuggets. Boston Celtics have the best riddle by far. That doesn't always mean they're going to win. There's always at least one team that nobody thinks of that does well. Like Miami Heat last year. There's always one. So keep your eye on Denver, keep your eye on Boston. People tell me the Lakers win. I've told you I don't think LeBron goes to another NBA Finals. I don't think it's them. The Bucks are the favorites with the bookies, I think, or maybe it's Boston now, but it was Milwaukee. I don't think it's going to be Milwaukee. It could be. So, yeah, when you ask me who's going to win, I'm very good, but I don't know everything. You've got to remember there's 30 teams in the NBA. There's probably 10 you're like, no chance. You look at teams like the Spurs, you look at the Pistons, you look at the Hornets, they ain't getting to the playoffs. So you can write off about a third of them right now. But then you've got teams that you might overlook. There's teams you might overlook, like Cleveland, like we've just got a new king, King Charles. Cavaliers connects to royalty. The 76ers, okay, they're struggling now because Embiid's out, but they're saying he might be back for the playoffs. So as long as they get to the playoffs, what other teams? Like Timberwolves are absolutely dominating. They're first in the Western Conference. Clippers are doing well. You've got the Eclipse this year, which is why I think they're doing well. The Suns have a brilliant roster. Okay, if you believe it's about that. Durant, Booker, Bradley Beal. So people think that they can just come to me and say, who's going to win the NBA? Like it's like that. It's so hard. 2022 is the best I did with the NBA. I called the Warriors before the season began. I called Steph Curry MVP before the season began. I called Steph Curry MVP in the All-Star game, plus 900. That's the best I've done with the NBA futures, but single games, I've killed it for 4 years, which is the best way. I haven't decoded Formula One, brother. I haven't looked into it. I was thinking the books. Yeah, there's been a lot of symbolism with books in movies, Leave the World Behind and The Walking Dead, and the book connects to the wilderness, to the Israelites. Yeah, again, no one's going to be shocked if the Bucks win. They have Giannis, they have Middleton, they have Damian Lillard, they have Lopez. Nobody is going to be shocked again as a regular person if the Bucks win it. It's just, I reckon before the season began, everybody hammered the Bucks. And I think Lillard's 0, and he's on 0 NBA final wins. I think he stays on that. It's not always about the best players. You're calling Verstappen to win his 4th title. I can see why, Mr. 9/11. Shout out to you, Adam, for your database of information. Shout out to you for your brilliant codes, mate. Rain and Payne's in the chat. He's a brilliant coder when it comes to the NHL. So if any of you guys love hockey, there's not many people that code it. He does. He has a Patreon. He's from Canada. But I don't know many people who watch the NHL personally. But I know in Canada, I'm sure it's huge. Their number one sport is hockey, as far as I'm aware. WWE announced WrestleMania fan experience for 4 days. I did some of those WWE experiences. Again, I met them. I met Cody Rhodes. I met The Miz, like this close to them, shook their hand. I met Christian from Edge and Christian. I met Cena. I met Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth, because I met them when they were the Shield. And I've got a photo. Roman Reigns is staring me out. I'll have to find it. It might be gone now. Roman Reigns is staring at me. All right. Well, Roman, I've exposed you so many times. You can keep doing that and believe you're the head of the table. All right. He's just a demon. John Cena is taller than you think. I think he was about 6'2". He was taller than you think. But he couldn't walk. He could barely walk. Cody Rhodes was bigger than you think. Like, he was wearing a tight shirt, like, you know, like the shirt you'd wear under a suit. And his arms were big. You can't really tell on the screen with somebody like Cody because there's so many massive wrestlers. Even like Christian looks skinny on TV, but he was stacked. Who else did I see? I know I'm going off topic here. Edge cannot be a stand-up guy. He supposedly broke his neck, was told that he'd never wrestle again, and came back better than ever, in better shape than ever. He used to have a little belly. He came back with like a 10-pack. He's clearly married to a bloke, Beth Phoenix, if you study anatomy. So, guys, they tell us The Undertaker's a stand-up guy. Cena's a stand-up guy. They're not. Do you think Cena can get to the top of Hollywood like he did for a few years by being a stand-up guy? The same about The Rock. Did you see, again, I called this, Garnacho. Garnacho has now posted an image of a Bible on his Instagram. I told you, they start getting people like Garnacho professing that they know Christ. And then my friend sent me an image. He said, you got it right. I said, got what right? He said, look at this. Garnacho, image of a Bible on Instagram. He called it. I was like, oh my word. The most demonic player probably in the Premier League is that Garnacho. I don't think he's a baller in the slightest at all. I think you're being convinced that he's a baller. He ain't a baller. Satan might turn him into one, to be honest. because he's basically got the same story as Ronaldo. When Ronaldo came on the scene, he won incredible right at the beginning, and then he just became a world beater. No, they could do that with Garnacho for sure. You look at him now, you're like, yeah, he's all right. But you know that Satan could turn Garnacho into a Real Madrid superstar if Garnacho is a good little demon. Yeah, I covered that Reign of Pain with Jesus and 40 Days and 40 Nights. There's so many other 40s. Foden will score in the Champions League final. Well, again, they have to get there. Before we make comments like that, they have to get there. He's number 47, obviously, all the 47s we have in this year. He actually got a hat-trick against Brentford the last time they played. This game's 0-0 now after 23 minutes. So Brentford actually beat Man City twice last season. And that rarely ever happens with City. So it makes sense that City go back-to-back against them this year and win. But again, 23 minutes in, 0-0. This is what I'm saying. If you bet, more often than not, you just bet in play. Like I told you yesterday, Palace went up 1-0, 66 minutes. A few minutes after that, I was like, oh my word, it's going to finish 1-1. So I just left a comment, said, guys, this could end 1-1. I left a comment when it was 70 minutes gone. And then after 84 minutes, Everton scored because 66 is the 11th triangular number. So now City, their odds are going to drop. I think now they're 1-3. They probably started 1-5. If it's half-time, 0-0, you probably get them minus 188. And then I'd probably go in on them. Brentford has the B, which is the symbol of Manchester. That's true. The B's connect to the royal family as well. I just picture the scriptwriters watching your videos and pulling their hair out. I don't believe there are scriptwriters. If I'm honest, I used to kind of go down that when I thought everything was man. I believe whoever wins in the City Brentford game, it's already been determined by a higher power. I don't think anyone's changing it during it. It's just what I think. It's all Brentford from what I'm hearing. I don't know. It's very rare that a team's all over City. City dominate the ball. They average 75% possession. So I doubt Brentford are all over them. Maybe Brentford have had the better chances, but they won't be all over City. I don't think I've ever seen a team all over City. Ever. They just keep the ball too well. You got to hit them on the break. And that's how you beat them. You ain't going to outpass them or outplay them ever. 125th year from Barcelona Foundation. Xavi Bone 125. Zelensky Bone 125. Yeah, Barcelona, of course, they have great numbers. I coded them to win the league last season. They won it. Struggling this year. I coded Real Madrid to win it this year. I would say it's done and dusted for me with that 36 code I have for Real Madrid. Girona are starting to drop more points as well, which they're always going to. 126 year will be massive. Yeah, Kobe supported Barcelona. He died on 126. So look out for Barcelona next year to do really well. I know, bro, I heard you just pointing out again. Much love, brother. Yeah, Atletico are playing today against Inter. Again, both teams are undefeated this season in the Champions League. That's tough. I think Inter are 3-3-0 and Atletico are 4-2-0, which is Hitler's birthday. So if it's a draw, they both remain undefeated. Inter Milan do have the better numbers, but betting against Simeone in the Champions League, they hardly ever lose. If you look at Atletico's record in the Champions League, since Simeone became the coach, they hardly lose. They hardly ever lose. They're so hard to beat. But Inter have some numbers. I don't foresee a ton of goals because both of them are so strong at the back, statistically. But again, all you need is a red card. You need Inter to win a penalty. Martinez scores. The keeper gets sent off. You just don't know. Did Roman Reigns stare intimidate you? Not in the slightest. I grinned at him. I remember, guys, I was very cocky, arrogant. I wasn't intimidated by people even before I had my faith. I smiled at him. I felt strong feminine energy from The Miz. He was wearing this beyond tight suit. His butt was stuck out, and the way he spoke to me, he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, you've got an accent. Wow, where are you from?" He spoke like that. I was like, "Whoa. Are you like putting on the..." Well, I know they all play characters on TV, but the feminine energy from The Miz, the one who kind of, it's so weird. You wouldn't have expected it. The one that had a bit of a aura about him, where you're like, "Whoa, I don't want to mess with him," was Christian. He had this tight yellow T-shirt on, and his eyebrow was up. You know how like The Rock does his eyebrow? I can't do it. And his eyebrow was always up, and he was always looking like that. It looked like he just wanted to fight somebody. But again, the character that he plays was often a funny character. Right now, he's playing a heel, I think, in AEW. Very vicious, disrespectful. He's saying some horrific things, but he was the only one where I thought, oh, he's got like, I won't want to mess with him. The other ones, no, I didn't feel any type of presence from them. Another one that had real feminine energy was Seth Rollins. And now look what he's wearing. Like he's wearing high heels, like dresses and ridiculous suits. He had a really feminine energy. But sometimes he comes across as like tough, and he's not. He's not. Roman didn't even speak. He just nodded his head. So I think Roman Reigns was like cool. He had this cool aura, no doubt about it, but he barely spoke. But I'll find the photo and I'll put it on Twitter. You'll see how he's staring at me. I also met Mick Foley, Mankind. The guy could not walk. He couldn't walk. I actually felt a bit sorry for him, but obviously the career he's had and what he put his body through. But the poor guy couldn't walk. It was a hard watch. I met Ric Flair, but I didn't get close to him. He was on a panel. When I say I didn't get close to him, I was, but I didn't shake his hand. He looked completely wasted, broken. His face was like purple. I think he was drunk. He was stumbling on his words. He was with JR, good old JR, and I think Jerry the King Lawler, and there was somebody else. I think Michael Cole. Again, anyways, am I still in contact with Letitia? Yeah, but again, he's not my best friend. I could message Letitia right now. I could call Letitia right now. If I go to England, I could hang out with him, but it's not like I'm constantly in contact with Letitia. I regard him as a friend, and I think the interview we did was great. It helped a lot of people. Brehme has an 87 rating in FIFA, and he won the World Cup on the 8th of July, 87. Number of the Beast equals 87. Travis Kelce wears 87. Messi was born in 87. Remember, Messi lost the World Cup final to Germany. In what year was that? It was when Mario Götze scored, Bayern player and Dortmund player. What year? 2014, was it? 2014? Sidney Crosby wears 87. Yep. 8 times 7's 56. The US elections with 56 days left in the year. King Charles was coronated on 5/6. May the 6th. So, yeah, I think it's time for me to go. So again, when it comes to the Euros, people always, oh, you said England, but then he said Germany, and he's flipping his picks. Guys, just let it be. Do whatever you want with the information I give you. If you think it's going to be Portugal who wins or Spain, stick with them. Don't go, I said Spain were going to win and I went with your Germany pick because I saw your live stream on whatever the date is, the 20th of February, and you took me off my pick. But don't do that. Here's some information which looks and indicates that Germany could make the final. And if they get there, it'd be hard to bet against them. You know what I mean? The illusion, the best hands down, all glory to God. Yeah, all glory to God, baby. Thank you for that, though. Germany won the World Cup in 90 in Italy through a penalty kick by Brehme, their left back. Italy wins the World Cup in 06 in Germany thanks to a penalty kick by their left back. Yeah, Grosso. Was he wearing number 3 as well? I think he was. I can't remember. Grosso, pretty tall left back, one of his slick black hair. But yeah, it's all connected. I think, is that when Totti dominated, and I think the captain was it Cannavaro? Little Cannavaro. I think he was 5'10", but he won the Ballon d'Or, which is so rare for a defender to win that. It's usually an attacking player that wins the Ballon d'Or. But Cannavaro, he won it. But yeah, you're right. You're right. And I've told you, George Bush Sr. gave his New World Order speech in 1990 on 9/11, the year that Germany won the World Cup. And exactly 11 years later was 9/11/2001. So I think the Euro final finishes 1-1, just like Euro 2020. As of now. Of course, there's so many outcomes. I think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll be a shootout. Or a team's going to win right at the death. Just like the Super Bowl went to the death. Van Dijk can win the Ballon d'Or this year. Liverpool would have to win everything for that to happen. Van Dijk had that unbelievable year and he still didn't win it. I think he finished 3rd. So still with Man City, 34 minutes gone. No goals. I have no idea if a team's doing well. But do you know what often happens with Man City this year? KDB is on the bench. City struggle to break down a team. They bring on KDB. They win. The headlines are about him. So KDB's on the bench. Surely if they're not winning at half-time, they bring him on after about 55 minutes. He comes on. He threads a pass through to Haaland, whoever it may be. City take the lead. When they take the lead, they just keep the ball. They often get another one on the break because Brentford have to push forward. So, yeah, watch that. KDB will come on and the game will change because they literally call him a game changer. Right, Sam Reader, here we go. I know you're not being disrespectful or trying to annoy me. England have an amazing riddle. I connected England with the 49ers. The 49ers lost. But the Super Bowl was connected to England. Either way. Stuff happened. Brehme's died. Okay? That's huge. Guy who got the winning goal for them in the World Cup in 1990. Beckenbauer's died, the greatest ever player. Stuff happens. This is why I'm saying don't get wrapped up in futures. Don't bet on them now. You wait till the tournament begins. And even then, during it, something happens. So I know all the stuff England have. I know all the stuff Germany have, all France have. I'm sure there's other teams. It's tough. I won't get wrapped up. People put so much emphasis. Oh, the illusions of fraud. He said England, then he said Germany, and he got those, but it was actually Spain that won it. He's clueless. Yeah, but I got 90% of the games right in the tournament. Am I clueless there? Just stuff like that. Who do you think is going to win, brother? I know you're not trying to annoy me. I'll put it in the chat for you all. Who do you think wins the Euros? Who do you reckon wins it? We know that a great coder believes it's going to be Germany, the Dutch exposer. Let's see who you have. So, Sam, either Germany or France. Yeah, read my France code with Mbappe about why he can get retribution for losing the World Cup final. Check that one out with Platini. It's crazy. You just learn. Liam thinks England or Germany. Yep. Germany, and they will play late in the tournament. Germany's first game's against Scotland. The Queen died in Scotland. So if Germany play England, that probably benefits Germany. Donald Trump's father was German. His mother was Scottish. Now, remember this as well. Dimes likes Portugal. Remember this one, guys. Can you ping that like button if you haven't already? Thank you. If you think about the recent 104th NFL season, the opening game was the Chiefs against the Lions. Right? Lions connects to the three Lions of England, and they beat the Chiefs. All right, Chief connects to War Chiefs, connects to Germany. But the first game was the Chiefs, and the last game was the Chiefs. So we're going to have Germany the first, and then the last, like Jesus is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I think Germany get there, just like I told you all Argentina would get there 18 months before. Loads of people took it, and I said they'd probably win. And then I saw a few stuff for England because the Queen had to die on me. But hey, I sold who knows how many Queen books. Kind of worked out for me. But stuff happens. I was all in on Argentina, then the Queen had to die. Things like that, man. It can change things. And sometimes it can benefit you, and other times it can take you off what you're saying. Like, again, go on my website, see the code I had for the Chiefs to make the Super Bowl and maybe win it. It's there. Just see it. They got there. They won it. And then I started seeing stuff for 49ers, Eagles. So I was working with Decoding Us, who was making all these finds with them. And I think going forward now, I'm not going to be going back and forth with other coders who say, no, this is a lock. This is teams definitely winning it. Because when you start using words like that, it don't. I think you have to be elite, completely elite to be saying that, where you're literally getting 9 out of 10 futures for anyone to take you seriously. Because people say it so often. Oh, it's a lock. They've got this free money. The code's too good. It's like, yeah, but you've only coded one team. You've coded England. That's it. Have you looked into Germany, France, Spain, Netherlands? No. So how do you know that England are a lock? You don't. So, wow, I just realized Messi was born 360 days after 1986 World Cup final. Yep, I've got that in my book. And then he won the World Cup 36 years after Maradona, who died with 36 days left in the year. I think Portugal coming in are the most informed team, but more often than not always, the team that didn't come in great wins it. Argentina won it. They came in with an amazing 36-game undefeated run. But historically, a lot of teams, they start off slow in the tournament. That's why Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. Ridiculous. And they often come into the tournament struggling. And England are kind of like, oh, they're doing all right. Germany is struggling. But then they can just justify how Germany, they turn up in big tournaments. They're the host nation. They've got the fans behind them. It's going to be interesting tournament to code. See if there's any major events that happen. I'm intrigued. City's still 0-0 again. So are they going to take it to half time and then bring on Kevin? KDB. Hey, Joseph, much love. God bless you guys. If you're new to my channel, subscribe to Joseph's channel, please. Joseph Aquaviva 2222. And you'll learn tons from him, guys. Germany win 4th Euro, England lose 2nd. That's very possible, Daz. It's very possible. Remember, England lost Euro 2020 to Italy. Italy won it for the first time in 53 years. The 3 England players that missed the penalties were all black, and their combined jersey numbers were 11, 17, and 25. You add up those numbers, what do you get? You get 53. Elizabeth was coronated in 53. The Vatican archives have 53 miles of shelving. The first game of Euro 2020 was played in Rome, where the Vatican is, where Italy won. The opening goal of the tournament was after 53 minutes. Can somebody give me a woo with everything I've just given you? That's absolutely insane. The 49ers are now 5-3 in Super Bowls after losing. And this is where it's tricky. They could have gone 6-2 or 5-3. And Queen Elizabeth was coronated 6-2-53. You see how tough it is? Can you see how tough it is? Hey, Connie Daniel, God bless you all. So it's not easy doing this, but ultimately, guys, like, I hope you watched my video yesterday about the New Age and why you need the Word of God. So I can sit here all day and talk about sports with you. Oscar Bob has one cleared off the line. It's all City now. Just wait till KDB comes on. Harry Kane scores loads of goals and doesn't win a trophy. It's looking that way. Remember the Queen, her funeral was 11 days after she died at 11 a.m. Harry Kane signed for Bayern after they won their 11th straight title. World War I ended on 11/11. 9/11 on the 11th day of the year. And the 11th state of New York, exactly 11 years after George Bush Sr.'s New World Order speech. The Euro 2020 final finished 1-1 like 11. The first penalty England missed was number 11, Rashford. So, guys, we can't deny the code, can we? I ain't sitting here thinking I'm going to predict everything that happens in the world because I'm not God. But I can reveal things like next to nobody else there is. There's other people that can do it for sure. That's why I take like a lot of, I don't like using the word pride. Very happy with the website that I can share these insights that don't always necessarily tell you who's going to win you money, but to just show you just how coded our world is. Something that we never knew, did we? Most of us until recently, and most still don't know. And I honestly think most will never know. I think being given the gift of the eyes to see and the ears to hear and being able to make these connections, it is a gift. Just don't let it consume you. Don't let it take over your life. So yeah, let's, what else have you got? Bottom line, no one else has your database online or in your mind. Thank you, Rainer Pen. Again, I don't know that. There might be many people better than me on a different planet to me that don't have platforms. There's definitely way more people with more wisdom than I have and knowledge, no doubt about it. I know that I've got more than most. I say that I've got more than most just from what I've gone off in my life. I've lived in 3 countries, met a lot of people, and it's next to nobody I can speak to about this knowledge. Is it possible to react on your codes on your website? I've got to speak to my web developer. You used to be able to, you can leave thumbs up, you can leave comments. Back in the day, you used to be able to like my posts. That would often give me an idea of how much people enjoyed it, because it's a lot easier to like a post than leave a comment saying, great code, Illusion. But for me, I don't need the ego. I don't need the gratification. What tells me that people enjoy my website is knowing people stay. And people stay. I ain't going to get new members every day all the time. Some people are going to leave. But what shows me I'm doing something right is the fact that my members, more often than not, will stay. But yeah, as of now, you can't like hit the like or whatever to the post, but you can with comments. Thank you, Rain and Pain. I appreciate you. What's your opinion on iPet Goat 2 Baphomet animation? Just more revelation that we're living out revelation. Baphomet's obviously a goat with a male and female genitalia. It seems that this demonic deity can give you success in the entertainment industry. Maybe that's the gift that Baphomet has. That's why they worship Baphomet. I think he can give you fame and fortune. But it's not worth it ultimately, is it, if it takes your soul? I know very little about football, but I know everything about New Age. Fell for it big time till Jesus saved me. Amen. I think most people have fallen for New Age. And it's understandable why. That's why I'm trying to teach you to identify what's New Age and what's the Word of God. I saw a clip of the LA Kings overtime turnover breakaway in the last seconds, and nothing about it looks natural, just the way the puck somehow founds the player. Yeah, well, Rain and Pain did these great codes recently for LA Kings, and they came back. Big price. He trusted his code, and it doesn't look natural, does it? It is divine. I believe so. Man City's 0-0 at halftime. You've got to bring on KDB now. Let's see if it happens the way I say it's going to happen. He comes on and the game changes. It is divine because I don't believe for a second that they all know. I think it's ludicrous to even contemplate that they might all know. They can't. And when you code it and you watch it and you witness it and you see how supernatural it is, the timing in which they score, the way they score, the reactions of the players, it's divine. And some of them are probably aware. I do believe, I've said this, some of them have actively given themselves to the devil and have been rewarded. I think many of them are just there. There's a balance between the ones that have been given it and those who've earned it and those who have the bloodline and those who have contacts. Maybe the numbers, I don't know. Hockey is kind of a crazy sport. The shift of energy could change in seconds. What the sport where the energy shifts in seconds more than any sport is basketball. I think. If you want a shift of energy, a transition, I know you get that a lot in hockey, but in hockey, you're not getting goals every 14 seconds. In the NBA, you go from getting possession of the ball, missing a three, getting the rebound, missing the easy dunk, getting fouled. You go to the free throw line, you miss both free throws, rebound to the other team, they make it up, they get a 3-point play. 3-point swing like that. And then you're like, what's going on? And then straight after the 3-pointer, turnover, another 3, 6-point swing. What just happened? Wow, my team went from being the big favorite to the underdog in 20 seconds. What happened? I think basketball for me is the most energy harvesting sport if you're betting on it. Everything, every misplaced pass, turnover, missed free throw, missed dunk, every 3 that goes against you or goes for you. I used to bet on basketball a lot because it's the sport that I'm best at coding. And when I watched the games, by the end of it, I was done. I was exhausted, man. I can't say Sam either. Probably KDB, to be honest. I think Haaland's gone through something with his dad, some sort of ritual. Maybe that's why his dad's career ended early. Yesterday, a team was down by like 3 goals, scored 6 in a row and won 10-7. Israel was attacked on 10-7. Stone Cold Steve Austin's in the chat, guys. Can we give him a what? What? It's nice to know that Stone Cold is watching. Another demon, the rattlesnake. Texas rattlesnake. Basketball's boring. Back when I watched it, I didn't find it boring. Again, because it's so like that, I didn't find it boring. Sports I find boring. There's not many because I love sport. What do I find hard to watch? Golf. I don't enjoy watching golf. I enjoy playing it. I don't enjoy watching it. Cricket, I find extremely boring to watch. Baseball is number one for me, where I literally would turn down 3 tickets to watch the Dodgers and the Angels. So I ain't going to watch baseball. Tickets were $60, $70. I said, I'm not going. That's how boring it was for me. Snooker's boring. Darts. Again, a lot of it depends for me if I'm betting. I don't bet. I haven't bet since 2022. But if you bet on darts is not boring. Darts is a lot of fun. Like every shot means something. I don't think darts is boring, but I think maybe if you've not bet on it, is extremely boring. Now, I can bet on baseball back in the day and still find it boring. It's too long. Strike! I didn't get any buzz from the strike because I know right after it they can hit a home run. So often they do that in baseball as well. It looks like it's going to be 3 strikes and then they hit a home run. So that takes your energy. You're like, yes, strike. Another strike. Just one more strike. One more strike. Hits a double. Guy runs in for a run. And you're like, oh. Just, guys, for me, I'm just glad I don't bet. That's just me. I get why people do it. I did it. I did very well. I can't imagine going back to it. It took so much of my energy, man. It took a lot of money from Vegas. But it took my energy, man, which is more valuable than money, in my opinion. Nobody, especially Vince McMahon, tells Stone Cold Steve Austin what to do. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Yep. That's true, Austin. 3:16. Mocking John 3:16, by the way. But God will not be mocked. Basketball is cool, but it's just too much scoring and they do more shows and talking than anything. It's a production, bro. It's a production. That's why they say at the end of an NFL game, thank you for watching this NFL production. It's Hollywood. It's entertainment. NFL is sports entertainment. The NBA is, just watch the All-Star game. If there's one fan who thinks that All-Star game was like genuine, where it's just the best players in the world trying to beat one another, it was a circus. It was the Harlem Globetrotters, which was, I think, like planting a seed that it's all a show. Some of the shots they make, you know that it's not the work of man. Watch the highlights of the Harlem Globetrotters. If they could play like that, where they never miss, sure, at least one of them would get an NBA career. They just don't miss. Foot is the best sport. Dortmund have scored. I didn't code that game. Oh, my word. Sky Sports. Time for De Bruyne. 4.9. Revelation equals 49 and Antichrist. Kevin De Bruyne is creating 4.9 chances per 90 minutes in the Premier League. The best ratio of any player. At least 300 plus minutes this season. Relentless. So right now, Sky Sports, this is what I read. I don't watch the games. They're already doing some sort of black magic, foreshadowing KDB coming on and creating. They're already kind of just telling you. So again, I'll be shocked if he doesn't come on and play a role. Malin scored against his old club. Well, anyone on my website knows. Wait. Malin scored. Hold up. Somebody coded him. Wait. Let me double check if somebody coded this guy, because my website always discusses, look out for former players to score against their old club. The other day, I mentioned Sterling, and he scored against Man City for Chelsea. It happens so often. What's his name, this guy? Malin. Wait. Unless I'm getting him mixed up with somebody. Oh, no, it's not Malin. It's not Malin. It's Oscan or something. I don't even know who that is. But, guys, why is Haaland all of a sudden struggling in front of goal? Malin doesn't celebrate here, but Dortmund are full of glee. Remember that show Glee, which had 6 seasons and so many cast members died? Suspicious deaths. You remember that show Glee? Guys, ping the like button. Oh, my word. 42 in the live. 42 likes. Oh, my goodness. Stephen Hawking probably had a better vertical than Jokic. Liam, did you see Luka try and throw off the backboard and dunk it? His demon left his body. He looked like just a fat slob. Did anyone see that with Luka? So he's breaking away. He was walking the whole game. Jokic looks like he's been shot in both of his kneecaps. I don't know how he's the MVP. He can't move. He can't move. It's like a 1990s video game watching Jokic. Just a demon, all of his 41s that he has, 41st pick, and he wins 4-1 in the NBA Finals on the 41st US President's birthday. He became great after Kobe died at 41. All a ritual. And he plays this, I'm humble. I just want to play basketball. I want to be on my homeland with my horses. Stop playing this humble guy, Jokic, you big lanky demon. Can't even run. I would burn you in a sprint. Of course, you'd murder me in basketball because you're a big goon. But I'd murder you in a sprint. It's like a bobblehead when he runs. So Luka, all right, his demon wasn't there in the All-Star game. He looked like he'd never played basketball before. I watched that. I wanted to watch it, to keep an eye on it, see what was going on. I like the East plus 4.5. They won by 25. But Luka threw it off the backboard, and anyone at his height should just be able to jump up and slam it in. And he couldn't even do it. It was embarrassing. And I think the most embarrassing thing, other than the fact that Jokic can't even move, was Damian Lillard's mid-court threes twice. He just stands there and goes, it's like, oh my word. It was so embarrassing. And just, Dame Lillard's, they're always like flush. Never go off the backboard. So clean. And look at him fully tatted up, marking his whole body. So yeah, it was somewhat embarrassing watching that All-Star game. It's getting more embarrassing watching all these games now, or seeing highlights of them. Yeah, Luka has the all-seeing eye tattoo on his arm. He's going to be fat when he's older, is Luka. Is it really worth it? And guys, some of the shots Luka does, some of his three-point, he'll have 3 players on him, and he'll just do that, not even looking where the hoop is, and it goes in, and he does this smile. Did you see the video I shared of Trae Young? All right, making a shot from the stands. Trae Young's my build. Pretty much the same height as me. I think he's 5'11". And he did this in the stand, and he's done that. Didn't even go, yeah. He just went. He knew he was making it. It was cringeworthy. Steph from one side of the court to the other just did that. And then he ran down tunnel and he went in. Come on, guys. Let's just see through these demons. Demons can do these things. They have the ability to do these things. And we worship them because they want to be worshipped. They wanted to be worshipped in heaven. Yep, Trae Young. The day I saw Trae Young out-rebound Giannis going for it, I gave up on the NBA. Giannis, one of the best rebounders in the league, the Greek freak. Trae Young came out of nowhere. You know Giannis, often when he gets the rebound, he don't jump for it. It's just like that. Trae Young, the little weasel, came out of nowhere and out-jumped Giannis. And they went, that's the heart of Trae Young. I'm like, that's not the heart. That's the demon of Trae Young. How on earth did he out-jump Giannis? Steph Curry gets tons of rebounds as well. Yeah, right place, right time is Steph. Give me a break, man. It's absolutely outrageous. Are you aware of the flood taking place in the Netherlands? No. You're going to see all sorts of natural disasters taking place all over the world. So stay safe. I know you're Dutch. So stay safe, mate. The Demas of Puskas went to Ronaldo and Madonna and Messi. I agree, Stone Cold. I agree. I've said that. I think Pele's demon went to Mbappe. Look at Neymar now. Shell of a man. Knee injury. Big gut. All right. Broken soul. Let's hope he repents. All right. Neymar just looks like a broken soul at this point. It's like Satan's like, I've had enough of you. I've had enough of you. I'll focus on Vinicius now. And Rodrigo. All right. Off you go, Neymar. I feel like that's what's happened to him. I don't think it's a ritual so he wins the World Cup. I'm not even sure he'll even play in it. I'm not even sure there'll be one. Where's Neymar's demon gone? I don't think Neymar was ever world class. I think the media told you that. I don't think that he was ever world class. To be honest, he had good footwork. I don't think he ever scored enough goals to be world class. He wasn't strong enough. He was a little bitch. He would dive all the time. He didn't do anything for Paris Saint-Germain. He was great at Barca when they had the demons Suarez, what was it, MSN, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. That was obviously when he was at his peak, because he was at that peak Barcelona team that would just beat everybody. But I never thought Neymar was world class. I thought he was overrated, completely overrated. Do you think he was amazing? No, I think Ronaldinho was amazing. I don't think Neymar was. I think Ronaldo, the Brazilian, was amazing. I think Rivaldo was amazing. I think Ronaldinho was amazing. I don't think Neymar came anywhere near. Can somebody give me a woo? You think Neymar was on the level of Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho? He was nowhere near it. Not even close to their level. Not even close to their level. Didn't come anywhere near their level. Kaká, same. Kaká was a different level to Neymar. A completely different level to Neymar. But for whatever reason, he showboated. The media was behind him. Overrated. Even though he's got all those goals for Brazil, it's because he was a chosen one, guys. I've covered this numerous times that Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Pele, they all said Neymar was the next great Brazil star when he was 15, when he was just a little weasel. Yeah, he had great footwork. But the build he should have been bullied every game. And if there were no demon, he would have been bullied. But they already knew that he was destined to be the biggest star of the future for Brazil. They knew, they all said it. This is something I wanted to tell you. Brazilian Ronaldo looks pregnant, got a female spine. He does have a female spine. Yep, he gained a lot of weight. Look what happened to Adriano. He was as good as any of them. Can somebody give me a woo? Adriano, in his prime at Inter Milan, was as good as any of them. And then he got mental health issues and became an alcoholic. And gambling addict, I think, and he missed his family in Brazil. I just think he didn't play along with Satan, and they ended him. Because Adriano was as good. He was the left-footed Ronaldo. He was strong, fast, great strike, unbelievable footwork, could do anything, and then his career ended. So again, I'm not sure he was playing along with what he was supposed to be playing along with. Because talent-wise, again, if you put prime-time Adriano against prime-time Neymar, Adriano would absolutely annihilate him. Why did they become overweight? Again, I don't know if that's demonic or anything, because they're not exercising. When you're a pro, you're in the gym every day, you're exercising, you're on top of your diet. When you've retired, you don't need to be on top of your diet. You don't need to go to the gym. You don't have to look after your body. You've made all your money. You get complacent with it. You're probably fed up that you've trained for the last 20 years of your life, 30 years. So I can see why they gain weight. A lot of them don't. A lot of them look great. Some even look better. But a lot of Brazilians, the whole culture is they just have more talent than us all. Not discipline. Your Germans have discipline, Italians. Brazilians were just, they have that, what we thought was just God-given talent. And they would have fun with the game. Ronaldinho's got a belly on him now as well. Guys, I'm still going here. Another hour, 41 minutes. Can you ping the like? I'm just waiting for KDB to come on. He's yet to come on. I said 55 minutes. I said 55 minutes. So I'm waiting for him to come on. Waiting for a miracle to come. Still can't figure out that guy. And why he's everywhere, all over my feed. I can't figure him out. I get a demon energy from him. So what else is there? Yeah, I agree, Agent D. I've done a lot of videos about it, and YouTube don't like me doing them. Netherlands have the best players if you compare it with population, best football and infrastructure, hands down. I agree. I've said that before about the Netherlands. Their technique, their infrastructure, the talent for the size of the nation, but they've never won the World Cup. I think you said something. I think it was you who typed in silver medal, and it's 3 out of the same 4 ciphers as Netherlands or something on the Netherlands. I haven't shared that, but I saw it. England's a really small nation. They have great infrastructure, the best league in the world for such a tiny nation. I don't know. The youth teams of Germany are always great. They have a solid foundation, Germany. If Africa had the funding and the infrastructure, they should be winning World Cups. They're the best athletes in the world, Africans. No doubt about it. But then a lot of those Africans play for European teams. France is the best example. When they won the World Cup, Zidane is African, Vieira's African. Like, for example, Mbappe is African. Makelele was African. Desailly was African. I can't remember. Kante is African. So if those players actually played for their actual nations, an African team should win the World Cup, but they've never won it. It's always either been a team from Europe or South America. They're the only continents that have won the World Cup. And there's only ever been 8 World Cup winners. From Europe, England, Germany, Spain, Italy, France, and South America, Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil. It's only been 8. 5 from Europe, 3 from South America. So there's another 53 for you. Argentina population is less than England. Are you sure? Can somebody back that up? Is Argentina's population less than England? Let's have a look. Argentina population. All right. 45.81 million, but that's 2021. Wow, yeah, he's right. So Argentina, that's that's 2018, it's probably increased. So yeah, the population in England is bigger than Argentina, and look at their success. Their success has been ridiculous. And the fact that Argentina have had 2 of the greatest players to ever play the game who almost played identical, Maradona and Messi, it makes you think. And I think they both had the connection to Newell Old Boys as well. There's some sort of black magic going on with all of this. So Man City are pretty good value now. When are they going to bring on that Kevin? I just want to witness it happen on the stream. This is what I wanted to tell you. Guys, get ready for this. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. Yeah, the Dutch, Seedorf, Davies, Kluivert, Van Dijk, Gullit, Rijkaard. You got the De Boer brothers. I can't believe you missed Bergkamp. Yeah, the Dutch have had some ridiculous. Your goalkeepers like Van der Sar is one of the greatest goalies ever. Mark Overmars was a great player. What are the Dutch? Edgar Davids. No, you've already said him. What are the Dutch players? So many that they've had. Jaap Stam. He was outrageous. Outrageous. I said Uruguay. I said Uruguay, Argentina, and Brazil, the 3 South American. Uruguay won the first ever World Cup, didn't they? In 1930. They beat Argentina 4-2. Both of the flags have a sun in the middle. Ruud van Nistelrooy, yeah, I didn't rate him, but what a goal scorer. Robben, unbelievable player. Schneider, I think he won a Ballon d'Or, or he was close when Inter Milan won the Champions League. He was a player. Snyder's another player. Is he the one who got fat as well? He got a belly. I don't know if he still has it. Coleman, Van Basten, yeah. Van der Vaart, yeah. Yes, so many talented players, but they've gone deep in tournaments, but they've never won the World Cup. I wanted to tell you this. Just answer this question. Just like in hockey, Wayne Gretzky and Connor McDavid, both blonde, both Canadian, both from the same province, both play for the same team. One is nicknamed Mac Jesus. Oh, my word. Which one's Mac Jesus? McDavid? It's got to be. Gretzky, number 99. Guys, who's Germany's captain? I know the answer, but I'm going to give you a fact about him. Still 0-0 with City. Brentford are just trying to kill this game. If they get a point, they will be delighted. If City draw 0-0 at home with Brentford, it's just beyond pathetic. They've just smashed them 3-1 a week ago. Comical. Anybody type his name? Gundogan. So obviously Gundogan has the gun. Okay, the beginning of his last name. But Gundogan's birthday is 10/24. Gundogan was born Gundogan was born on the anniversary of the United Nations being founded. Can somebody give me a woo? Gundogan, who won the treble with Man City, was their captain. All right. He was born on the anniversary of the United Nations being founded. The United Nations have the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Euro 2024 is going to be held in Germany. It's the 17th edition. Are you hearing this? Germany have just a ridiculous riddle. A lot of the times, guys, when you're coding these tournaments, just for a tip, you have to code the captains. Like, obviously, England's captain's Harry Kane. He plays in Germany. He's playing with Bayern. He was born exactly 79 years after World War I began, the 22nd prime. He captained England to the 22nd edition of the World Cup. I coded him the other day to score in Bayern's 22nd game of the season. He scored after, I think it was 87 minutes. Another code that came in. But so, yeah, you've got to look at the captains. There's a reason why, like, Man City are minus 150 now. So if they come and win this, people go, oh, it's easy, you called City. It's like, but right now they're minus 150. Hardly ever get City at those odds, especially at home. There's 30 minutes left. They still haven't brought on Kevin, which doesn't make any sense. But he will. He's going to come on. So, yeah, Gundogan, the captain, born on the anniversary of the United Nations being founded. Now, do you know the United Nations was founded in New York, where 9/11 was, where Trump was born? 1024 megabytes in a gigabyte. Now, that's some great information. I didn't know that. Let me confirm that. Yeah, 1 gigabyte is equal to, oh my word. So this comes in with like the mark of the beast and the one world currency. I'm going to have to do a full code. Guys, soon I'll do a full code for Germany. I'll put it on my website so you can all read it if you're there. And if you're not, you want to be there because this code is going to be crazy. Inter Milan's 0-0 at halftime. Dortmund are leading. Saying PSV are slaughtering them. That don't mean anything. Doku replaces Bob. So they're bringing Doku on, number 11. I don't know what that represents. What number's Bob? 52. So Man City's first sub, Bob comes off for Doku, 52 and 11. Gets you 63. And you just had the German player that I just coded die at age 63. It's just disgusting, this. It's honestly disgusting. So, trying to figure out where they're going with this. Let me just see what a draw does. I'll be shocked. What am I missing? Oh, oh no. Number 52 has just been replaced by number 11. Add up the numbers, it's 63. And right now with the draw, Man City are on 6 draws and 3 losses. I ain't saying that's the riddle, but it's shit like that I don't like. First sub, 52 comes off for 11 equals 63, whilst they're on 6 draws and 3 losses. I'm not going to post it on my website. I can't be bothered because I still think City will win, but I see shit like that and it just winds me up. So there, just another tip for you. If you're coding in play, you've got to look at the substitutions. You've got to add up the jersey numbers. And often if you're good at coding, you're going to see, oh, that that benefits them or that doesn't. This one's kind of like iffy with me. Now it's kind of annoyed me. Lewis Hamilton can also get his 4th pole on this circuit 4 years since his last one. It can be the 4th time he wins a season opener for Mercedes. 7th time, 7's the 4th prime number. That's all really interesting, for sure. Bernardo Silva just hit a free kick out of bounds. Sometimes you see them and you go, how is that guy a pro? And then 10 minutes later, Bernardo Silva might beat 3 players and bang it in the top corner. 1 second. I'm going to put that comment, see what people want to do with it. Number 11, 52 plus 11 equals 63. Man City will be on 6 draws and 3 losses if this is a draw. I'm not saying this is going to happen. 63-year-old German World Cup winner died today. But again, sometimes they do those substitutions and it's just for in play. Like if you go look at the league table now, they are on 6 draws and 3 losses. So sometimes they do it for the in play. It don't mean that it ends that way. But City are almost plus money now. But they still haven't brought on Macaulay Culkin. KDB. Tony and De Bruyne to score 17 and 17. I don't know if there'll be both teams to score at this point. Franz Beckenbauer died on 1/7, the 7th day of the year. Germany win the 17th edition of the Euros, 7 editions since their last win. 17 is the 7th prime. The final is with 170 days left. I think that's all in my Beckenbauer code, but that's great. There are tons for them. Like I said, the 17 sustainable energy things with the United Nations is just massive. The World Economic Forum was founded in Germany. By Klaus Schwab. How many minutes? 67 minutes in, 0-0. What are you all thinking in the chat? You think City win? You think it's a draw? You think Brentford? Yeah, Maguire's awful. KDB needs to be rested. You don't need to be rested when you're a demon, to be honest. And again, what's happened to Haaland? You think Brentford are going to take it? I'll be immensely shocked, but actually, will I? What I'm shocked at is that KDB is still on the bench when you're 0-0 at home. That don't make sense. You think City will find a way? It's very, very, very rare City draw 0-0. Who knows the last time they drew 0-0 where they don't score? But the odds are interesting now. I said I'd stay until he came on, and he's still not come on. He's like toying with me here. Southampton are getting beat by Hull. That's good for my Leicester City future. But Ipswich are winning against Rotherham, which you'd expect. So yeah, a lot has been revealed today with the Euros. Whatever happens, I don't think Germany are going to get knocked out in the group stage or have a disaster like they did in the World Cup, where they were dreadful. Who beat them, guys? Did they get beat by Costa Rica or something ridiculous? Or Japan? I think Japan beat them. Just Germany were just awful in that World Cup. I think I'm going to have to go because I've got my coaching. Yeah, it's 2:00. Listen, I appreciate you watching, all of your insights. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a lot. Yeah, many people like Germany to win that World Cup, exactly. And look what happened to them. They got embarrassed. So, yeah. Do me a favor just right before I go. Yeah, KDB is still not come on. It makes zero sense to me. I thought it would have come on earlier. City are now plus money on my website. Again, you hardly ever get them at that. Brentford are plus 120. Not to lose. This is a great for Arsenal and Liverpool, for you fans who still love it. It's so typical of City to score really, 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 really late. But I think people are going to hammer City right now at that price. But it's bigger than money, as we know. So, yeah. Wait, Napoli have sacked their coach. He just won the league with them, and now he's sacked. Literally is no loyalty in football. He wins the league with them, first time in 33 years, and the season after he gets sacked. So I still think City are going to take this. But they're dragging it out. They're dragging it out. Did Brehme play for Dortmund? He played for Bayern Munich and Germany. I don't think he played for Dortmund. Let me check. Where is he? He was a big Bayern player. And he was like worshipped because, of course, if you get a winning goal, it's like Götze. Götze is still worshipped in Germany. If you get that winning goal for your nation in a World Cup final, it don't matter if you had a mediocre career. Haaland scored. I coded him a score. Are you serious? All right. I believe Demes. Let's look. Nope. Man, Haaland, finally City breakthrough, and it's that man Haaland. 71 minutes. The World Economic Forum was founded in 71 in Germany. Haaland made his name in Germany. Oh my word, what's the odds now? Minus 1,600. Well, I had Haaland to score. Take that. He's the only one I had to score. 1-0. So again, there you go. Who knows? City might still draw. Who knows? But they were plus money. And right after, it seems, what was it? 2 minutes after, Haaland scored. That happens so often, guys. Why would you take City 1-5 when you might get them plus money? And now, if you wanted to cover, you can cover, but that's up to you. New Napoli coach was born 10/24. Same birthday as Gundogan. Oh, my word. Napoli Stadium is named after Maradona, who lost the World Cup final against Germany. Wow. When Brehme got the winning penalty. That's insane. Are Germany going to beat Italy? Who set him up? Oh, okay. Alvarez feeds Haaland. Remember, those two players signed on the same day. Haaland and Alvarez signed on the same day. Number 19 and number 9. Queen's funeral was 1909. And now he's just assisted him. My riddle was about the Queen. Oh, wow. Yeah, it does. Alvarez assist, 19 goals, 71st minute. And the World Economic Forum was founded in 1971. Number 19 assisted the goal. I'm going to use that after 71 minutes. The World Economic Forum, and remember Alvarez is Argentinian, was founded in 1971. Again, just it's mental. I bet Haaland's done nothing all game as well. I bet he's done nothing all game. And then he bangs. Now Brentford, like I said, at this point, and they could because they've got the players, Brentford have to come out now. Brentford have to attack City. And that's when a team like City can cut you open. And that's why they score so many late goals. So Brentford have to go all out. They might wait till there's like 5-10 minutes before they do that and hope it's still 1-0. But how do you get all these connections from a goal? God. I'm connected to the code, man. I know Alvarez and Haaland connect to the Queen. I know they signed on the same day. I know the jersey numbers. I know they connect to the Queen's funeral. I know Brady was 199th pick. So the person who said that, sound meter said the defender slipped. Again, I don't think that was rehearsed when a player slips. I don't know how you rehearse a slip. It's like the players that have slipped in penalty shootouts like John Terry, Beckham. I don't think you rehearse a slip and make it look realistic. Brahma sounds like Brahman, the Indian god. That's very true. Satanism is Buddhism. All these false religions leading you to this oneness and Christ consciousness. This is such a joke. Calzone's Slovakia qualified for the Euros and he left them for Napoli. So he's led Slovakia to the Euros and then he bails on them. I just told you again, there's no commitment in professional sports. And that's why if you're a fan, you need to stop. You need to stop looking up to them. You need to stop getting their name on your jersey because they don't care about you. Whatever they tell you, I love this club, I love the fans, they don't give a shit. 99% of them. Some of them will. I think Letitia did. Stayed at Southampton his whole career. He was loyal. He turned down big money moves. But in general, guys, they feed you all of, oh, I love this club. I love this squad. I'm sure the Slovakia coach said it. Then he just pisses off to Napoli. So he gets more money. Or the code. Who knows? So, yeah. I said I'd wait until KDB came on. It's still not come on. Still not come on. Brentford have just made 2 changes. I think this Premier League, guys, it goes to the last game of the season between 3 teams for World War III. All 3 of them have outrageous riddles, especially since Klopp said he's stepping down. That changed so much for Liverpool. Completely crazy code after that. City already had one, which I showed before the season began, and Arsenal, I also showed. Then Liverpool. Guys, Liverpool sucked last season. Absolutely shite. And now they're one of the best teams in the world again. And then he leaves them. And what's going on with Celtic? They're having a nightmare with Rodgers now. I think they're second. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Napoli have Hamsik, which is Slovakia's greatest ever player. I don't know. There'll be some connection that we can't quite figure out. I got a pamphlet from a random guy the other week at work while cashiering, and he asked, "Where's the world going?" And it had Bible verses in it. And today some guy asked me for church directions. Because hopefully, Demez, you're on the right path. Studying my Bible, I'm going to study it again tonight. Yeah, if Arsenal win it, it's absolutely World War III. But Pep has war connections. Remember, he coached in Germany with Bayern Munich. He has crazy war connections. They all do at this point. Klopp's German. He's got the war connections. In 9/11, he retired during 2001. So, looks like City are going to win. It's very rare that they do concede after they go up. It's rare at home. Usually when they lose at home, they go a goal down. So hopefully they hold off. If not, I'll be annoyed a little. Lobotka born 1125. Maradona died 1125. Oh, my word. I'm going to have to Google this Lobotka guy because I'm going to find crazy stuff. So we're seeing now that Napoli connect to Maradona. Maradona's connecting to Slovakia. Who's in their group? Premier League impossible to predict. Well, this season is so hard. I would go game by game. I usually kill the Premier League. I had City before the season began. I'm not going to be shocked if they win it again. That was my code. But as I've told you, shit happens. I ain't covering myself. I ain't going to come at the end of the season if Liverpool win it or Arsenal. I'll just tell you what it is. Haaland again. Sam Reader, are you being serious? What time did he score? That'll be game over then. They cannot concede two. Let me check. It's offside. Okay. Okay, it's offside. Things like that are not good. Whilst it's 1-0, it's just sweaty. If it had been 2-0, it was game over. So, like, it said Walker was offside. Was he even interfering? Like, did it affect the goalkeeper, the defenders, or is it just one they've just given? I heard you made a great connection regarding the Daytona 500. Can you advise which video you put it in? I think it was, he won it a span of 9 months and 11 days before his birthday. It was number 24, the Eclipse. That's an X. It's 24th letter of the alphabet. It's going to be on 4.8. The guy who finished second, his car was 48. I think it was just pretty much the 911 and the 24 with the Eclipse. 9 times 11 is 99. The Eclipse is the 99th day of the year. So the NASCAR winner won it in an Eclipse riddle, which we need to look out for. It's why I said the Clippers are doing so well. I think after the Eclipse, they'll struggle. So I think a lot of people are banging a lot of money on the Clippers. All right, Paul George, Harden, Kawhi Leonard, they've got a great team. They're doing well. Keep winning. I think they keep winning until the Eclipse is over, which is April the 8th. And I think that Eclipse is going to just change everything. The economy, a complete collapse or a war. I don't think the war will be before the Euros. I think that happens, so probably not a war. Maybe we're going to hear about more people getting the Neuralink. Summit's going off, and it's 6 days before my birthday as well. Great American Race pointed out Decoding with Cody. Yeah. President's Day, somebody said he's 192. And then on lap 192, there was a crash. On the date 19-2. Which again, there's 200 laps. And for the crash to be on lap 192 on 19-2, you can't continue to say these are coincidences. In the slightest. It can't be seen as a coincidence now. There's 200 laps. So 200 laps, and on 192, there's a crash. On 19-2, the 19th of February. I can't say that's a coincidence. Okay. Nothing else. My water's empty. I had avocado and toast for lunch. What time is it? I can't be late for coaching. 2:12. My coaching's at 4. Takes me 45 minutes to get there. PSV, I've just got a penalty. Guys, I feel like I'm doing Soccer Saturday here. And there's been a penalty in the PSV game. No. Yeah. And there's been a penalty in the PSV game. And you're like, oh, who is it? I've got both teams to score. And it's gone to PSV, and it's controversial, Jeff. It's very controversial. I'm not sure it's a penalty. It's gone to VAR. Oh, no. It's gone to VAR. And they've given it, Jeff. Let's see if they have given it. It's a nice PSV move as Lozano is freed down the left. He pulls the ball back to Tillman in the area, and Hummels slides in. He gets a slice of the ball, a big slice on it, but then also catches Tillman. VAR will take a look at this. Guys, if you win a tackle and you win the ball first and you come through the player, it's not a foul. If they give a penalty here, it's an absolute joke. If you win the ball cleanly, all right, and then you hit him and the follow through, that ain't a foul. Nobody even knows what the rules are in the game anymore. Illusion, did you ever rate Sabu? I never really got into ECW, like all the extreme championship wrestling stuff. So I can't say I rated him. I will say this. He left a big impact on the industry. People speak nicely about him. He did crazy shit. Wait, I'm having to charge my phone and my laptop. Still here, guys. 2 hours, 17 minutes. So, do I rate Sabu? Didn't watch him enough. All right, they gave the penalty. Beautiful penalty. Hummels cannot believe it, of course, because it wasn't a penalty. So, PSV game, 1-1. See what happens there. PSV have been insane this season in the Dutch league. Like, ridiculously good. You think they'll probably come back and win it, but who knows? KDB is not coming on. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So usually in this situation, City just keep the ball and they can just keep it, sometimes 5 minutes at a time. And usually by this time, Brentford or the opponent are tired. But again, it just needs one lapse of concentration. That 63 is like there in my head, although City code's phenomenal. It's there. Guys, if you took City, I would take the money now. I'm going to tell them, take the money as City minus 4,000. They're paying 92% cash out. So if you took City in play, take it. It's not worth it at 1-0. It's just not. Hey, O'Malley, God bless you. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of greatest wrestlers? Guys, we talked a lot about wrestling here. I know a lot of people still like it. All right, Mount Rushmore. That's so tough, man. I'd say Shawn Michaels is number one. Who else did I love? It depends. What do you want from me? Like the best wrestlers, the ones who entertain me, the most successful, longevity. Are we going with wrestlers outside of WWE? Like AJ Styles, I used to watch him in TNA. He was insane. As a kid, I loved Jeff Hardy. I don't think they're Mount Rushmore. I never liked Hogan, but they always say without Hogan, there would be no WWE anymore. As a kid, I loved Bret the Hitman Hart. As a teen, I loved The Rock and Austin, like we all did. At a stage of really liking CM Punk. I didn't love Kurt Angle. I just knew he was unbelievably talented. But I was never like, when his music hit, whatever it was, it didn't excite me. Jeff Hardy's music hit, I got excited. He always did the Baphomet. Obviously, I didn't know that. Rock's music went off. I went insane as a teenager. Austin's, I went insane. I was always excited when Vince McMahon's music would go off. And I liked CM Punk for a while. Who else? I'm never that bothered about The Undertaker or Kane. I never was really into big wrestlers like The Big Show either. They didn't appeal to me. They didn't excite me. I think right now Kenny Omega, what he can do is insane in a ring. I think he's super camp as well. I don't think he's straight, Kenny Omega. I think the Young Bucks give themselves to the devil as well. Who else? Randy Orton was like, I always knew he was unbelievable, but he never excited me. When his music hit or anything, I just knew, oh my word, this guy he's like too good. Nobody comes close to his talent from when I was watching. Again, is that it? Is there anyone else that really blew my mind? I never enjoyed Ric Flair's matches. I never enjoyed them. I could never see why he was regarded as great as he was. I know he could talk. I didn't like his matches. I used to watch all the archives, his old matches. Warrior couldn't wrestle. Macho Man had a great persona. Again, his matches weren't great, but he was an athlete. Mr. Perfect was crazy good. Technically, personality. Will Ospreay is ridiculously talented. Can do anything. I think he's from England as well. Yeah. I think I'm out of wrestlers who I really go, wow, I can't believe how good Kevin Owens is for his build. I think there's a demon there as well, because what Kevin Owens can do with his build, how fast he is, how agile he is, and how his body can take a beating, especially before he was in the big leagues. When he was in Ring of Honor, he was the star. I can't comprehend how these wrestlers wrestle longer than a few years. What they do to their bodies, the abuse they put their bodies through, and to have a 20-year career like some of them, like Randy Orton. Randy Orton looks better than anyone in the world for his age, better than anyone in the world. And he's been taking bumps for 20, 25 years. It's just, I can't believe that guy is human. I just don't think he's human, Randy Orton. just the Viper. He hears voices in his head. That tells me he's probably demonically possessed. He hears voices in his head. And he's lost his head. If you notice, Randy Orton's lost his head so many times. He kept getting chance after chance. Jeff Hardy lost his head so many times. Drugs, alcohol, car wrecks. The Usos, it's one of them, Jay or Jimmy, lose their head, car crashes, alcoholics. There's a load of... Oh, Brock Lesnar again. Like, sometimes I would hear his music and I would pop and go, whoa. Other times he did nothing for me. I thought, okay, he's going to come and do German suplexes. All right. And then go, oh, and then do an F5 and then piss off. He never excited me. But again, talent-wise, Brock Lesnar is most talented wrestler ever for his size and his build and how quick he is and agile and his timing and his storytelling. Probably the most talented wrestler is Brock. You might say it's Kurt Angle. You might say it's Ric Flair, Brett, Chris Benoit. I had a stage of enjoying Jericho. I can't stand that guy now. If I see him on YouTube, he makes my blood boil. He's now, his world's collapsing around him. He can barely move in the ring. He still thinks he's the greatest. And he's not. Got a big old belly on him now and bitch tits, and he winds me up. I had a little stage of enjoying Jericho. Jericho connects to the Bible. It was destroyed for all of its sin. And he takes pride in his sin, does Jericho. He's got a song called Judas with his band. Fozzy, I think. Guy becomes a rock star, WWE champion. The Rock becomes WWE champion, Hollywood star. You've got that guy now. What's his name? Jake Paul, or it's one of the Paul brothers, is in wrestling. And from what I hear, he's an unbelievable wrestler. He's just gone into wrestling with no training. And I think is the United States champion. And is supposedly unbelievable. So there's got to be some... There's got to be some assistance. There's got to be some demonic assistance within wrestling. To be honest with you, their lifestyles that they live, they shouldn't last 3 years doing it without having a breakdown or the body breaking down or missing the family or whatever it may be. I want this City game to finish because the code is really good. Yeah, I've seen Brock Lesnar's daughter. That's all I'm going to say about that one. They're unbeaten in the league. Only Arsenal and Feyenoord have beat them, and Arsenal was 4-0. Yeah, PSV are flying. Both these games are a draw in the Champions League right now. Saying Inter Milan just missed a glorious chance. They had a nice riddle. But I think it's Dimez. He said on my page, when a team's like minus 130 pre-game, they often draw. And it was the same with Everton. When they're minus 130, I'll take them. That's kind of nice price. They often draw. And that's what's going on now with Atletico in the Inter game. It's 0-0. I said there would be next to no goals in it. It's 0-0. City won. There we go. I'll take that. Because it proves my point again, that you can get these teams plus money if you stay loyal to the code. That 163 was a bit like, don't like that. But the City code, I'll share it on Twitter. It's crazy. And Haaland to score. In fact, he got the winning goal. I think John Cena's the most, joint most WWE World Heavyweight Championships. No, Ric Flair has the most with 16. And I think Cena and Orton have 15. So Orton wants to match Ric Flair. Cena wants to match him. Ric Flair has the most, 16. 16. And it looks like Cena's not winning another title. He won't win another one. He'll stay on 15. I'm definitely going now. City won. God bless you all. I have to get ready for coaching. It wasn't you, Demez. It was somebody. They just said when a team's minus 130 at home, they often draw the game. And so look out for that. Cena's 16-2. Are you sure? Are you sure? Oh, my word. How many WWE titles does Cena have? All right, 16 time as well. 13 World Heavyweight Championships, 13 World Heavyweight. All right, so he's matching with Ric Flair. I think with Ric Flair, they have some other titles for him, though, from other companies. Why they say it's him? They say something like that. He's won the most titles as Ric Flair. Maybe it's not World Heavyweight Championships, but I think he's got 16 with WWFE. Cena's got 16 as well. Brady retired 16th day of the year. Big number, 16. Right. I'm off. I appreciate you. Guys, remember earlier in the stream, I said today is the 51st day of the year and 51 million signing Haaland might score. Well, I'm leaving the live stream now with 51 likes. That's pretty hilarious. I did say that. Pretty funny, eh? Gene, good afternoon, but I've got to go leave and coach. Guys, read your... I just clapped my hand. That wasn't a good idea. Read your Bible, study the word. Thanks for supporting me. If you're on my website, thank you. If you're not, check it out. Give it a month, $10, honestly. I can talk about anything, whether it's wrestling, war, any sport, okay, the Bible, major events, eclipses, pandemics. I can cover anything on my website. Deaths. You learn shitloads, guys. And I appreciate you all. Cheers, Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? I appreciate it. And God bless you all. Stay strong. God wins, baby. Woo-hoo.